In a world torn between celestial kingdoms and demonic realms, human villages lay caught in endless battles. One warrior, Elric, renowned across kingdoms for his strength and compassion, had spent years defending his people from demonic invasions. Scarred physically and emotionally, he carried the weight of countless battles, but his spirit remained unbroken. During one decisive battle, as demonic hordes swarmed a village, he found himself confronting their leader, a demoness feared across realms. Her name was Liriana, a being of legendary power and cruelty. As their blades clashed, the air crackled with tension, each strike resonating with determination. Yet amidst the chaos, Elric glimpsed a flash of vulnerability in Liriana's eyes, something he had never seen in a demon before. Their battle raged fiercely, shattering stone and scattering sparks. Finally, Elric's blade found its mark, pinning Liriana to the ground. She stared defiantly, expecting a swift death. But Elric hesitated. "Why spare me, human?" Liriana snarled. Elric lowered his weapon, replying calmly, "Because even demons deserve mercy." Confused yet intrigued, Liriana awaited her fate. Instead of striking the final blow, Elric offered his hand. "Come with me. Let me show you there's more than bloodshed in this world." Reluctantly, she accepted, driven by curiosity and a strange pull she couldn't yet understand. Initially, the villagers were terrified of Liriana's presence. Her menacing horns, glowing eyes, and fierce demeanor unsettled everyone except Elric. Firm in his decision, Elric introduced her as an ally. He watched as she struggled to adapt, unused to kindness or trust. Days turned into weeks, and though Liriana's hostility softened, her pride remained fierce. She observed Elric closely, perplexed by his compassion and selflessness, traits foreign to the ruthless world she knew. His dedication to helping others, even strangers, was a puzzle she felt compelled to solve. One evening, as she helped him mend defenses around the village, Liriana questioned, "Why risk so much for these fragile beings? They are weak and fleeting." Elric paused, hammer in hand, looking towards the horizon. "Their strength isn't in combat. It's in their unity, their hope, and their resilience. They remind me why I fight." Liriana considered his words, pondering the strange warmth they ignited within her. She began assisting villagers in small tasks, feeling a growing connection she neither wanted nor expected. Amidst the shimmering towers of the distant planet Xylon Prime, Captain Kaelen stepped off the landing platform and into the bustling marketplace. Every corner was alive with vibrant energy, vendors calling out prices in languages he couldn't comprehend, exotic spices scenting the air, and holographic projections flashing vivid colors above every stall. Kaelen's eyes scanned the scene, his heart pounding slightly. He was here on an official diplomatic mission, tasked with establishing peaceful relations between Earth and the enigmatic alien race known as the Elysians. Known for their powerful psionic abilities and captivatingly beautiful yet fiercely mysterious demeanor, the Elysians had intrigued and intimidated humanity since first contact. Making his way through the marketplace, Kaelen's attention was suddenly seized by a commotion ahead. A circle of onlookers had gathered, their gazes fixated on two figures engaged in a heated exchange. One was an enormous humanoid with thick, charcoal-hued armor and glowing eyes, a fearsome-looking warrior from a distant star system. Opposite him stood an Elysian woman, strikingly beautiful yet menacing in her elegance. Her blue skin seemed almost luminescent, and intricate tattoos adorned her slender frame, pulsating gently in rhythm with her heightened emotions. Without warning, the armored brute lunged forward aggressively, but the Elysian effortlessly sidestepped, her movements fluid and graceful. With an effortless gesture, she unleashed a powerful psionic wave, sending her attacker sprawling backward into a stall filled with glittering trinkets. Kaelen's breath caught in his throat. This was the legendary power he'd heard of, but never witnessed firsthand. Kaelen approached the Elysian cautiously, raising his hands to indicate peace. Her luminous golden eyes flickered to him, a sharp intelligence evident in her penetrating gaze. "Impressive display," Kaelen spoke calmly, maintaining eye contact. "I'm Captain Kaelen of Earth's Diplomatic Corps. May I ask what happened here?" The Elysian paused, assessing him carefully, then spoke in a voice that resonated like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. He attempted to take something that was not his. Justice was required. Her gaze softened slightly. "I am Seraphia. What brings an Earth captain so far from home?" Explaining his diplomatic mission, Kaelen noticed Seraphia's curiosity piqued when he mentioned peace. Elysians, despite their power, had always preferred isolation, rarely engaging diplomatically with outsiders. Yet something about Kaelen intrigued her. "Walk with me," she suggested abruptly, turning gracefully down a quieter street. Kaelen followed, matching her stride easily, intrigued by her sudden openness. As they walked, Seraphia spoke of Xylon, Prime's deep-seated traditions, and the balance of power between various alien races inhabiting the sector. She spoke passionately, revealing not just the complexities of interstellar politics, but the hidden fears of her people, fears about exploitation, misunderstanding, and the loss of their cherished solitude. Hours later, Seraphia led Kaelen to an ancient temple, its walls covered in glowing symbols and carvings depicting events from centuries past. She explained how these were records of her people's interactions with other civilizations. As Kaelen studied the carvings, he realized that humanity's arrival was not just curiosity for the Elysians. It represented a turning point, possibly, altering their society irreversibly. "Why show me this?" Kaelen asked softly, sensing deeper intentions. Seraphia met his gaze with quiet intensity. "Because your presence here means change is inevitable. Your kind has a remarkable ability to alter destinies, often without fully comprehending the magnitude of your influence. I need you to understand what's at stake." Her honesty was disarming, drawing Kaelen into a deeper contemplation. "Our world has been a haven of tranquility, but tranquility often breeds stagnation. Your arrival presents a choice: adaptation or isolation." The conversation was interrupted by a sudden tremor beneath their feet. The temple walls groaned ominously, and Kaelen instinctively pulled Seraphia away from a falling column. They stumbled outside to see chaos erupting throughout the city as towering warships appeared in the sky, blotting out the sunlight. Kaelen recognized the symbols emblazoned on their hulls, the ruthless Vorath Empire known across the galaxy for their brutal conquests. "They've come for our world," Seraphia whispered, her voice strained but defiant. The attack was swift and brutal. Kaelen and Seraphia raced through the city's streets, dodging explosions and the panicked crowds. Elysians fought valiantly, using their psionic abilities to shield civilians and repel invaders. But the sheer magnitude of Vorath's forces was overwhelming. Kaelen reached for his communicator, desperate to call for reinforcements from his orbiting ship, only to find it jammed. Seraphia grabbed his hand, leading him towards hidden passages beneath the city. In the underground tunnels, illuminated by soft bioluminescent crystals, Seraphia revealed a hidden chamber containing ancient psionic amplifiers. These artifacts had been untouched for generations, guarded as a sacred trust by the Elysians. "We swore never to use these again," Seraphia admitted, her voice filled with reverence and sorrow. "But our survival demands it." Kaelen understood the gravity of the situation. This was a desperate move for a desperate time. Working swiftly, they activated the amplifiers, channeling their combined energies into a formidable shield around the city. The Vorath bombardment ceased, unable to penetrate the newly formed barrier. However, maintaining this defense required constant mental focus, draining their strength rapidly. Recognizing the urgency, Kaelen and Seraphia sent a joint distress signal to Earth's fleet, praying it would arrive in time to prevent annihilation. As the hours passed, Seraphia grew visibly weaker, her psychic energy stretched to its limits. Kaelen stood beside her, supporting her with his own physical strength and unwavering determination. They communicated almost wordlessly now, their bond growing deeper as they shared both pain and purpose. Above them, the Vorath fleet reorganized, clearly preparing for a new assault strategy. Kaelen knew reinforcements from Earth would take time they didn't have. Suddenly, a brilliant light lit up the sky. Earth's fleet had arrived, warships breaking through the Vorath blockade with coordinated precision. The tide of battle began to shift, but the victory was not yet secured. Kaelen and Seraphia had one last card to play. A fusion of Elysian psionics and human tactical weaponry stored deep within the amplifiers. It was a risky maneuver that could end the war, or destroy them all. With little time left, Seraphia led. Kaelen to the amplifier's core, a massive crystalline structure humming with dormant energy. "We will merge our essences," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Kaelen hesitated but saw no alternative. As they placed their hands on the core, a surge of raw power enveloped them both, their minds connected fully, memories and emotions intertwining. The fusion activated the core, creating a brilliant explosion of light that engulfed the battlefield. The shockwave disrupted the Vorath fleet's systems, disorienting their forces and exposing their vulnerabilities. Earth's fleet moved in swiftly, disabling ship after ship. Kaelen and Seraphia, suspended in the light, felt themselves becoming conduits for something ancient, something greater than either species had ever known. When the light faded, the battlefield was silent. Vorath ships lay scattered and powerless, and the city of Xylon Prime stood untouched within its shimmering barrier. Kaelen collapsed, his body weak but alive, while Seraphia remained still, her energy nearly depleted. Medical crews arrived, tending to them and stabilizing the wounded. Across the city, peace had come, but at a heavy cost. Seraphia awoke days later in a healing chamber, her body slowly recovering. Kaelen sat beside her, his presence steady and reassuring. "You saved us," he said quietly. She smiled faintly. "We saved each other." Victory over the Vorath was celebrated across multiple worlds, with both humans and Elysians hailed as heroes. A new alliance was formed, with Seraphia and Kaelen appointed as ambassadors between their people. They traveled to distant worlds, fostering understanding and unity, speaking of the cost of war and the strength of shared purpose. Despite their fame, both longed for quiet moments together, shared laughter beneath alien stars, whispered dreams in starlit chambers. Their bond, forged in fire and sealed in sacrifice, grew into something profound, not just an alliance of necessity, but of hearts that found solace and strength in each other. Years passed, and the galaxy slowly healed. Ruins were rebuilt, wounds mended, and alliances solidified. Elysians opened their once-guarded cities to visitors, their culture now thriving alongside human ingenuity. Children born of both species brought a new hope, bridging the divide between past pain and future promise. Kaelen and Seraphia, though older, remained central figures in this era of peace. Their story became legend, taught in schools, sung in operas, etched into monuments. They never sought glory, only understanding, and in that, they had succeeded. In the twilight of their lives, Kaelen and Seraphia returned to the ancient temple where their journey began. The carvings on the walls now included depictions of their deeds, their joined hands glowing with shared light. Standing together, they reflected on all that had changed. "Do you think we did enough?" Kaelen asked, his voice tinged with uncertainty. Seraphia touched the carving gently. We gave everything we had. That is all anyone can do. One final message was sent from that temple, a call for future generations to continue the work of unity. As the stars turned slowly overhead, Kaelen and Seraphia sat in silence, watching the universe stretch before them. Peace had been forged, not by conquest, but by compassion. And when the time came, they passed together, their names whispered with reverence in every corner of the galaxy. Centuries later, explorers discovered a hidden chamber beneath the ancient temple. There, a glowing orb pulsed gently, filled with the recorded memories of Kaelen and Seraphia. It told a story not of war, but of connection, of two souls who found each other across galaxies and who changed the course of history not with weapons, but with hope. That orb was placed at the center of the newly founded Galactic Peace Archives, where people of every species came to listen, to learn, and to remember that even in the darkest times, understanding is the light that guides us all.